It is the number one problem facing the automotive industry in terms of sales, and there is no short-term relief in sight and very little hope of an improvement next year or the year after. This, according to automotive industry experts, not just Dave. Yes, I'm talking about new vehicle inventory and availability. The word is supply. Whatever you have, maybe hang on to it. And if you own a slightly used 2021 model, it might be worth more than a 2022 model. I'll give you examples of that. And I'll explain why there's an inventory shortage of new vehicles, and it has nothing to do with the president or politics. As many of you have commented below my videos in recent months, it is hard to find a new car or truck at MSRP. It's usually thousands of dollars more. And that's because dealers are scrambling to stay afloat because they have about 1/3 of the vehicles on their lots that they had last year to sell. The vehicles they do have sometimes are sold before they hit the showroom floor or arrive at the dealerships. And we may have to wait until 2023 or 2024 before inventory catches up with the demand sufficiently enough for new vehicle prices to come back down to earth. That's right, maybe as long as 2024. Now listen to this. July was the 9th month in a row that new vehicle retail inventory fell below a total of 900,000 cars and trucks. July auto sales were 1.2 million units, down 5.7% versus a year ago. And that's including sales of daily rentals, corporate, and government fleets. So yes, supply is one factor, the biggest, but so is rising interest rates and rising gas prices, still well above $4 a gallon on average across the country. Analysts blame new vehicle shortage on a lack of semiconductor chips. But the continuing COVID-19 pandemic is a contributing cause to the chip shortage, as well as other supply chain bottlenecks. Surprise, surprise, cars aren't the only products that need these chips. So I mentioned that new vehicle retail inventory fell below a total of 900,000 cars and trucks. How low is 900,000 units? To put the inventory shortage in perspective and context, pre-pandemic, new vehicle inventory averaged around 3.5 million in 2019, and now we're talking about 900,000, less than a million. So while every manufacturer is behind on their overall vehicle sales now versus this time last year, and I've documented that quite well, it is about supply. I'm not stupid. I know that is the real reason. Car manufacturers are finding ways, though, to deal with this chip shortage by selling most new cars via pre-order. Remember layaway, guys? The catch is you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer, before you can get that vehicle. And they're using less chips in their vehicles, which means you get fewer features than in previous models of the vehicles that you want to buy. Are you willing to accept that? All right, here are the examples of some of these lightly used 2021 models that are more expensive than their 2022 counterparts. Here we go. RAV4 2021, $5,900 more than a 2022. Honda Civic, $5,300 more than a new one. Honda CR-V, $3,800 more. Camry, $3,200 more. Nissan Rogue, $3,100. Toyota Highlander, $2,100. A Ford F-1 Series, just $100. To reinforce your experience as a car buyer, or at least the stories you've heard about people paying over MSRP, according to Edmunds, 82% of buyers that purchased new vehicles in January of 2022 paid more than the sticker price. That was just a few months ago. Compare that figure to 2.8% a year earlier, and we can see what the new norm is now. And now a couple of EVs worth more used than new, and lightly used by definition in this case is 20,000 miles on the odometer or less. A 2021 Volkswagen ID4, $6,300 more than a 2022. A 2021 Tesla Model 3, $5,200 more. A Ford Mustang Mach-E, $5,200 more than a 2022 version. And the large demand for electric vehicles in the past year, obviously due to increasing gas prices, that is a large factor. The new and used car price jumps can be seen all over the country over the past year. However, a few states like South Carolina, New York, and New Jersey have experienced a higher increase than others, around 15 to 17% higher. And the average price paid for a new vehicle was the highest just a couple months ago in July at $48,182. That's the average price for a new vehicle paid, up 12% from the previous year. That according to Kelley Blue Book. and the average 1 to 5 year old car costs an average of $34,291. Again, this is in July. That's according to iSeeCars.com. And Rhode Island was a state with the lowest average used car price of just over 31 grand, and Alaska is a state with the highest average used car price of 42,617. And one more depressing and expensive thought, the average cost to own and operate a new car in 2022 has soared around 11% since last year to $10,728 per year. That's just under $900 a month. This is the cost to own and operate according to AAA's annual Your Driving Cost Report. Here's the best explanation I found on why there's an inventory shortage of new vehicles across the globe. The market is currently experiencing a shortage of semiconductor chips. This has prompted car manufacturers to slow their production or even temporarily pause it in the last 2 years. At the beginning of the pandemic, car manufacturers erroneously anticipated that consumer demand for cars would significantly decline 2 years ago. As a result, they radically reduced orders for these semiconductor chips, which are needed in every car these days. When car makers realized that demand for new cars had not declined, but rather increased, it was way too late. All of a sudden, car makers were at the back of the line to receive these critical parts and pieces of technology, which are used in nearly all electronics, such as our phones, laptops, and yes, our vehicles. But that's not the end of it. What initially started as a chip shortage in the auto industry has now evolved into a global chip shortage affecting all industries. Even as economic activities have returned to pre-pandemic levels, talking about all economic activities, the chip shortage has persisted. Coupled with the supply chain disruptions fueled by post-pandemic pent-up demand and recent lockdowns in China, car makers are struggling to manufacture cars to meet the demand. So that is why it was done 2 years ago. That's when it all started, not because of some sort of presidential mandate or conspiracy theory. That is why there is a shortage of vehicles out there in the market right now. I hope that clears up some of the supply and demand questions many of you have been asking about and commenting about in recent weeks and recent months of where the car industry is and why the prices are where they are now and what the future looks like. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. We can keep that conversation going. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching. See you soon. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.